Hello, my fellow modeling and tabletop gaming enthusiasts, and welcome to the Mediocre Modeler Show. A few weeks ago, we took a look at the British versus German starter set for Clash of Steel from Gale Force 9 and Battlefront Miniatures. Today, we are going to take a look at the American versus Soviet starter for Clash of Steel. So, I know there's been one or two reviews out there of this already. I'm going to go ahead and give my review of it. It'll be a little abbreviated because it's got a lot of the same stuff. The only difference in here is the plastics, the SPRUs themselves, but all the rule books, same. There are different for specific guides in there. We'll take a brief look at those as well. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's head on down and see how much stuff got crammed into this big boy. As usual, we've got a great big old box here. So we've got Clash of Steel, Operation Unthinkable, American versus Soviet. You can see we have 21 tanks in here. The good old T-28. I think there were 2 of those in existence ever. The big American experimental tank. I'm guessing this is one of the T-54s that comes in the box, because I think all the rest of them are more self-propelled guns. But let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the box here. As usual, we got a wonderful... No, that's probably an IS-3 on the front. Anyway, nice little view here of all that good stuff. And then what we get. So we get 2 T-28s for the American side, 3 T-29s, and 2 M18 Hellcats. Just kind of an interesting choice. But, you know, it was an effective tank hunter. Fast and good with that 76mm gun. And then for the Soviets, we get 6 T-54-1s, 3 IS-3s, 5 ISU-130s. And then, of course, you also get the 22 tank commanders, decals, the rule book, quick start rules, 20 dice, 2 force booklets. Those force booklets are what's going to be different from the German versus British starter. 20 unit cards, 34 tokens, 3 objective markers, 2 victory point dials, 26 tactics cards, 6 mission setup cards, 9 mission rule cards, and 22 objective cards. So let's go ahead and take a look at the sprues inside. And of course, I have been through this a time or two. I haven't built any of these yet, so I at least got that going for me. So, okay, so we'll start here. We've got the 2 M18 Hellcat sprues for the Americans, and this is a relatively recent reissue. Or not reissue, this was, I believe, newly molded kit just not too long ago. Actually, I have a set of these for Flames of War. Built them up, they built up pretty nice. So that's our 2 M18 Hellcats. Next up, we'll start with the Americans here. We've got our 3 T-29s. And these are 2023 copyright. So actually T-29, T-30, T-34. You can see there on right there. So possibly different variants, although this one looks like it only has... Oh, well, it's got different gun barrels here, different options to choose from here. Side skirts, you got your main hull and your turret pieces. Of course, you got your 50 up there. That is substantial in comparison to the Shermans I'm used to building for Flames of War. That's awesome. And then, of course, we've got our 2 T-28s. The big boy, you just got that characteristic big old hull, main gun there, big old engine deck. Oh, I just noticed they cast, or they modeled the front treads integral with that front armor plate. It's almost a glacis plate, almost there. So there's our 2, and this again is also a 2023 copyright, so brand new issue. Our 2 sprues for our T-28s for the Americans. Okay, so then we've got the rest of this is all for the Soviets. So what do we have here? We've got 6 of these. So these are our T-54-1s, and from my understanding, it actually, you have the option of turret, so you could do like a downgraded T-54 or an upgraded T-54. I'm not sure. I don't know my Soviet armor. I could barely tell you what a T-34 is, but these are the T-55s or T-54s. Well, okay, so the sprue says T-55, but it's marked on the box as a T-54. So maybe it comes with, maybe this is a T-55, but you're supposed to use the T-54 turret. I'm not entirely sure. But we have 6 of those. So, boy, we've got separate track sprues here. The thing is, excuse me. Okay, so I think we've got 3 sets of these, maybe. Oh boy, there's a lot. So, yeah, I believe these are going to be our IS3s. Yes, IS3. Helps if you look at the sprues. You can see right there, copyright 2023 IS3. So those are our 3 IS3s. Big enough that it has to come on separate sprues. Oh boy. Oh. Some chonky fellas there. We also, what do we have here? Oh, you also get additional turrets, it looks like, so you could build some T-44. Oh, so these are actually the turrets for your T-54 or a T-44M. So then those would be the T-55 sprues. So that's cool. Lots of options there, assuming that they'll probably release some more. But anyway, so these are our IS3s, correct? Yes, IS3s. And then we've got our 5 ISU-130s. Oh, I bet these go with, yeah, I bet these probably go with these bad boys. Yeah. What does it say on the sprue? It doesn't. Oh, okay. But these are all the 2015 copyrights. These have been around for a while. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, of course, we've got our punch-out tokens. We've got all of our cards and everything. And I just realized that I think I took out all the American stuff. Or all the force booklets. So here's our tank commanders. As you probably already saw, we've got some books. We've got some dice. So we blue for the Americans, red for the Soviets. We've got our decals. Again, just a universal decal sheet. The little rivets for holding the dials and everything together. Let me check something here quickly. Oh, let's find it. Okay. Perfect. That's exactly what I needed. All right, so let's get all this out of the way. Some of the other stuff that we get included. We've got our Soviet forces. Here's our force booklets. We've got our American forces. And then we've got our assembly guides. So for our Americans, it does give you the option of using the T30 barrel or the T29 barrel. So that's pretty good there. Pretty cool there. Then we've got our Soviet instructions. So we've got our IS-3s. So you can do a T-44 or a T-54-1. Doesn't look like it gives you the option for doing the T-55. That probably wouldn't be difficult at all. And then, of course, the ISU-122, 130, or 152. So depending on which barrel you choose. So that brings us to something of a question, which we're going to refer to our forces booklet for, to give us what are some of the options that we have. So again, the first page is kind of generic history of the conflict, and then you get to your force specifics. What you can have in your Soviet shock group. Okay, so you can have the T-44, the T-54, as well as the ISU-130, 122, or 152, as well as T-34s, SU-100s. So we've got our IS-3 there, the IS-2, the T-44, the T-54-1, your ISU-130, assault gun battery, your ISU-122 and 152, different options there, as well as your T-34-85, or your SU-100. And then, of course, you can see here all of the different tanks that are playable, usable, and, of course, the Battlefront catalog there. Advertisement for German versus British. And then, of course, quick reference guide. Always a great thing to have. So, less questions for the American side. We already kind of figured out we can do the T-29 or the T-30. So we've got our different options here of what we can use. So our T-26E5 assault Pershing, that's pretty cool. Although none are included, but those are available as a kit. Fun story, when I was at Adepticon, I actually got to climb on a T-26E4 at the Museum of the 1st Infantry Division at Cantini Park in Wheaton, Illinois. So that was pretty cool. Pershing was a pretty cool tank, I think. And then we've got our T-28s, of course, the big boy, and then the T-29, which, if we turn the page, I bet, T-30, yep, there's our next option. And then, of course, we've got the regular Pershing instead of the T-26E4. Oh, hey, the T-26E4. Maybe it was an E5 that I was on. I can't remember exactly, but so you can do basically 3 different versions of Pershing, the T-26, what was it, T-26E5, T-26, and T-26E4. I think was, yeah, T-26E5, Assault Pershing, the M26 Pershing, that's what it was, and then the T-26E4 Super Pershing that had that big old 90mm gun. As well, you can bring in your EZ8s and your Jumbos, M4, A3, E8s, and E2s. And I believe the last one in our American force, oh no, Chaffees, awesome. I've got Chaffees too. Bring in your M36 Jackson tank destroyers, the evolution of the M10. And then you've got your M18 Hellcat, good old Hellcat. So quite a nice selection of olive drab armored vehicles there, my favorite. Of course, the American catalog where you can find all of this stuff, and then straight to the quick reference guide. So that is the American versus Soviet starter box for Clash of Steel. Well, there you have it, folks. For anyone wondering, no, I still haven't had a chance to read the rules. Again, I'm bad with rules. I do a lot more painting. But those models are pretty awesome looking. Feature some pretty cool vehicles. I have yet to see any battle reports for Clash of Steel out there yet. Again, we'll see if I can get around to reading the rules sometime. Hint, I probably won't. But eventually maybe I'll get around to seeing just how it plays and maybe giving it a go for myself. So as always, yeah, Battlefront manages to cram a lot of plastic and goodies into one of these boxes. So it's always a pretty good deal for the money. I still don't know how much these retail for. Maybe like 60 bucks. I think they're still on pre-order and not actually available. So, yeah. But now you know what's in there. You have my point of view on what's in there. So, thank you folks very much for watching. As always, if you feel so inclined, please like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. And until next time, may your paints be thin, your brushes be pointy, and your dice be hot.